I've been studying. I've been reading up on hip hop.
Yeah.
And it's catching on. I think hip hop is catching on. So, I think I've done enough studying, and I'm ready to beat Quest's. What did he get? 14 out of 15 last week.
He got a contentious 13 out of 15. There's been a lot of talk about this. I know he wants to come back and settle the score figuratively and literally. But,
okay, all right.
Yeah. How is before we dive into the game, I know you're thirsty for blood. How is your quarantine been going? What have you been up to in the last?
Well, you might find out how it's been going, because I got, we have a dog and 3 children and my wife. So, they might interrupt at any moment. It could get crazy up in here. Look, we've been good. We have not really left the house for much of anything not important since March. So we're here, we're doing it. And and I can see the Questlove is saying he's going to play the role of Skills. That's fine. That's fine. You know, to everybody else, if you know an answer, don't be a hater like Mr. Amir Thompson. Please put your answers in the comments. I'm not looking at them, but they would be appreciated.
Yeah, we do. There is definitely 2 schools of thought when it comes to our chat, and some people reject the chat completely, and some people rely on it heavily. We don't judge. Whatever you want to do, that's fine. But you have the option, is what I'm saying.
I'm ready, man. I'm ready to do this.
Awesome. Yeah. Wow. Questlove he really is going to be the Skills. Questlove, we did a count, but we lost count of how many times Skills called you a fuckboy in the chat last time. He was going a little nuts with it, and we are trying to tally it. But I think, do you guys need to mediate something? Let us know if you need us to patch it up, because it seemed personal.
It seemed real personal by the end.
Yeah, I wasn't too happy with it myself. But all right, here we go. We're going to get into our first round. And our first round is called The Choice is Yours. This is general multiple choice. And again, you can rely on that chat if you need to, but not necessary.
Great.
Diallo, are you there? I'm seeing a little. Do you have good signal right now? It seems a little choppy.
It got digitized for a second. Got digitized.
Okay.
And now it seems like we're back. You know what?
We're back.
I want to what?
Oh no. Where'd he go?
So I just double checked the Wi-Fi. It should be fine.
Okay, there we go. DJ Spider
is a nightmare already.
Yeah, this is great. No,
DJ Spider, love that dude.
Yeah. All right, so we're hopping into our first round, and here's our first question. Though DeBrat's career took off after teaming with Atlanta's very own Jermaine Dupri, she originally hails from this city. Is it Boston, Chicago, New York, or Miami?
Well, I seem to remember DeBrat being from Chicago. I don't remember there being any Boston, New York, or Miami mixed up in there. So I think I know the answer to this. In fact, we do a show called Southside, which is set in Chicago, and I remember that people were pitching us. Thank you, Quest. People were just go on and take D off the list. Take D off the list. It's Chicago. She, we wanted to have her on Southside, which is our Chicago show. So I'm going to answer Chicago.
Chicago is correct. And you, if I'm not mistaken, you're originally from Atlanta, right?
I'm the only person involved in Southside not from Chicago. Specifically, not even from the South Side of Chicago. Everybody else on Southside is, grew up on Halstead, on 83rd, on Emerald, Inglewood, Hyde Park, doesn't matter. Everybody's from the South Side. I am the one sort of carpetbagger involved in the show.
So are they constantly making in-jokes and references that you don't get, or or are they more inclusive towards you when it comes to those things?
Well, I don't want to get too deep into the weeds, but we originally had a show that was set in my hometown of Atlanta. And because of that, we had a whole room of Atlanta people and Bashir, who's from Chicago, and I play the same role in this room, the Southside room, that he played in the Atlanta room, which is sometimes as the outsider, I can be like, hey, what did you just say? Oh, that's really interesting. Let's dive into that, because I've never heard that before. You always need one outsider in the room to sort of say, hey, this is kind of cool. We should go further.
So it's more of a strength, if anything. I was picturing it, a group of people laughing, and then you start to laugh, and they turn at you, and you're like, "What do you know about this? This is a Southside joke." Like, you wouldn't know that.
Listen, I laugh because, we always say we grew up watching Seinfeld, and I didn't know what a marble rye was, but it was funny because I knew that a marble rye might be like a new pair of Jordans, in that universe. So, we always felt like if we made the jokes very specific to the neighborhood, everybody's going to laugh at it. Because, comedy is just universal like that. You don't have to know exactly what they're referencing to get, oh, I get it, he's jealous, or, whatever that is.
I can tell you as a half Jew, we would get marble rye for Christmas every year. We would unwrap it, and it was like getting Jordans. I never got Jordans, but I did get marble rye.
I never got either. I was robbed as a kid. I never got either.
Wow. All right. We need to move on from this. Otherwise, we both might start crying. All right. Second question. Little Brother's second album, The Minstrel Show, centers around a program that is broadcasted on this fictional television station. Is it ABD, BBE, LBTV, or UBN?
My only question is, what if I got this wrong? I don't feel like I could ever talk to Fonte ever again if I got this answer wrong.
Okay.
So Questlove, why don't you go on and put your lame little wrong answer in the comments?
Shots fired.
Damn, son.
Wait till they get a load of this. Yeah, I mean, we can go through these fast. This is UBN all the way. This remains. I still remember the first time I was DJing at an LA bar and I put on Lovin' It. And to this day, like, to see that crowd react when Lovin' It came on, like, we got next. I mean, this got so many bangers. But UBN, D, final answer.
UBN is correct. I didn't say the correct. Yeah, no, I'm not saying the actual answer. Yeah. Not falling into that trap.
So far, I'm chilling. This is great.
I think I really learned about your show, Sherman Showcase, might have been from our mutual friend Fonte Coleman, because he has contributed all the music to the show, right?
He's contributed a lot of music, and okay. we have a lot of different kinds of music on the show. We got Fonte bringing great songs. We have the Knox, who I was introduced to via DJ Equal. Shout out to Equal.
Shout out to Equal.
Like Ben Rock is like he's like us. He loves all different types of music. And, I was like, hey, we need to do a disco song and a Stevie Nicks song. And, like this song about Marina Del Rey, which is LA's forgotten neighborhood. And they came on strong and they gave us nothing but bangers. So between them, Fonte, my nephew in Atlanta, Gemini, shout out to Gemini. We have a lot of different creators, Safari Riot. We have a lot of different composers, and we're looking for new composers in season 2. Like Anderson Paak is somebody I want to work with. I'd love to get Questlove to do something, but he never comes through. There's some other people who I'd love to. But we did ask you for a remix, Quest, and it never happened.
Wow. Grievances. Again, there's a lot of, it seems like everybody who's on this show has a question or has a problem with Questlove. I don't know what's going on here.
Actually, I'm on the skills payroll, so that's what's happening. Shout out to Rosenberg. I'm on the skills payroll.
Yeah. Again, I feel like we could keep going, but we need to move on, or this is going to get weird.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Quest, it's all love. It's all love.
It's all love, Questlove. All right, third question. Which of these Kanye West albums has John Legend not appeared on? Is it College Dropout, Graduation, 808s and Heartbreak, or My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy?
Wow. Okay.
We turned the heat up a little bit.
Yeah, that's the first. That's not an easy one. And by the way, there's a guy on staff who's like a Kanye musicologist, and he would know this like in a heartbeat. I do not.
How's he doing right now? That guy who's a Kanye.
He's Mr. Popular in our parts and on our text threads. No, we give him a lot of. He is not abandoned Ye just yet. He didn't abandon him when a lot of us might have left Ye behind, including John Legend. Let's get back to this.
Wait. I thought you were stalling. I was letting you go.
No.
Let's work it out. Let's work.
I think I know because there's one of these albums that I know really well, and I can't think of John popping up on it.
Okay.
I might be wrong. God, if I get it wrong this early in the game, then I'll never live it down. But I am thinking, and people feel free to weigh in. I don't remember there being John Legend on Graduation. I know that album pretty damn well. The only John on Graduation, I think, is John O'Brien. or John Bryan. John Bryan. So
I got it. This isn't a clue, but John Bryan is on late registration. This isn't, that has nothing to do with the answer. I'm
no, but John Bryan plays the keys on Flashing Lights.
Oh, you're right. Ooh, I got stumped. Shit.
Yeah, he plays the keys on Flashing Lights, and I want to say he plays the keys on one other Graduation song. I'm leaning towards Graduation, man. B.
Okay, we're gonna do a reveal here. I've had the answers pulled up. So first of all, nope, that's not it. Hold on, my bad. So first we have, this is John Legend singing through Autotune on College Dropout.
Right.
He actually did backing vocals on Graduation.
Backing vocals?
And he was on Blame Game, prominently featured. The only album that he has not appeared on at all was 808s and Heartbreaks. That was a tough one, Diallo.
It was backing vocals. You got me on backing vocals. Go on and talk your quest. Go on and talk. Go on and talk. Fine.
John Legend has also played
14. Yeah. You gonna text me 14. All right.
What's how did you first meet John Legend? Like, because I know that he produces.
Believe it or not, it's a random run-in with. I went to Harvard with this guy who used to work with John, and when John was first blowing up on the scene, and we went to that guy's baby shower, and my wife Brittany. See, this is like Chrissy's obviously been famous forever, but she wasn't the Chrissy Teigen we know today. They became really good friends, and so I would just see. We would go hang out with them like once a month at their old house up in like Hollywood area, and I'd just be sitting there while the wives were over here laughing and talking. Like I'd just be chilling with John on the sofa talking music, and I was like, "Look, one of these days I'm gonna do a show that I want to work with you on." And he was like, "I'm all for it." And then when we finally landed on the idea of Sherman Showcase, which was music and comedy, there was no way we were going to do it without John. So I was like, John, I finally had the idea, and I had like this whole presentation worked out, and we were like 2 minutes in. He was like, "Oh yeah, let's do this," and I was like, "All right, fine, just take the win." So we took it. We only took it one place. We took it to IFC because they did Documentary Now, and I was like, I wanted to have a Documentary Now appeal. I wanted to be like quirky, serious comedy for like music nerds. That's what we go for on Sherman Showcase. When I was at Fallon, me and Questlove were on clearly better terms, and we would always just sit around and just talk about music. And I'd be like, "Yo, what's up with Rod Temperton on that track?" Like we would just get really deep in it. And so if you watch Sherman's the way that I write it, or the way or Questlove watches it, or John watches it, it really goes in deep. I just want to tell one quick story.
Sure.
The reason why Vic Mensa, who plays the charade character on the show, who's our comic book universe's version of Prince, the reason why he starts off in a white ladies band is based on the story of Prince playing the keyboards on Stand Back for Stevie Nicks. So like literally like there are nuggets in there for everybody who's ever read their favorite artist's Wikipedia page, or really delved into like buying the Japanese pressing because it's got those 3 rare remixes. Like that's the level of nerddom that we try to bring. And we try to keep it funny for people who don't know all this stuff too.
It works on both levels for sure. And I was definitely the guy spending needless amounts of money on import singles back in the day. Like,
for the gatefold covers.
I was explaining this to somebody. You didn't even know if the song was going to be good.
No.
No. Questlove points this out. I recommend about 1/3 of all the walk-ons on Fallon.
Then you're a brilliant man. Can I tell you about a CD I bought, Sight Unseen? I'll never forget. I'm gonna age myself. But I went to buy some Wu-Tang CDs in the record store at Harvard Square.
Yeah.
And I saw that there was a CD by some guys, and they were wearing Atlanta Braves hats. And I was like, that's weird. And I looked on the back, and they had a song called "Welcome to Atlanta." I think it was like track 8. And I was like, oh, I'm buying this. I don't even know who they are. I'm buying this album. And it was Outkast's Southern Playlistic. So there you go.
That was a good instinct.
And the second I put this on, I called all my friends. I was like, yo, there's a group from Atlanta. They sound like they're from Oakland, but I think that this group sounds amazing.
Yeah, you're not the first person to point out they had a very heavy Souls of Mischief
Yeah,
influence
a little bit. Yeah, that was that
first
vibe.
album.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
great. All right, final question in this round, Diallo. We're doing good so far. Speaking of Fallon, this rapper stormed the stage at the end of Odd Future's debut late night performance on Late Night with Jimmy Fallon. Was it Black Thought, Pusha T, Mos Def, or Jay Electronica? That is not a photo of them, so you don't have to squint at the photo, but there was a rapper who stormed the stage at the end of the performance, the legendary debut of Tyler and his crew.
I was in the crowd that night. Whew, wow. Let me talk this through. Okay.
Talk it through. You were there. Somebody points out.
I don't think it would be Black Thought. That doesn't sound like him.
He's more cool, calm, collected.
Yeah.
You know?
I don't think it was Drake.
Well, I
Thank
can
you,
tell
Quest.
you for sure it's
Thank
not
you, Quest. No, Quest was Pusha T, Mos Def, Jay Electronica.
Who would be the type to rush the stage at the end of somebody
Like
else's
in a positive way though, right?
in a positive way? Yes.
I think you know why I think it's Mos Def, because Mos Def used to sit in with us sometimes. You know, he used to sit in with the Roots. You know what I mean?
Sure.
And I feel like that might have just happened to have been one of the days when he was sitting in, you know, with the Roots.
Okay. Final answer?
Damn, the people in the comments think it's Pusha T, and I do not remember that.
The comments, sometimes the comments come through.
Yeah, sometimes people in the comments could be wrong.
Yeah.
I hate Questlove. You know what? Next time, let's just advertise the time this thing starts. Pusha T, I don't remember Pusha T being there. You know what? I'm gonna put this on the audience. I think it was Mos Def, but
I need an answer.
I think it was B. I'm gonna go with the crowd. I'm gonna say B for Pusha T.
Final answer, Pusha T.
Yes.
Diallo, let this be a lesson to trust your instinct. The answer was Mos Def.
It was Mos Def. I knew it. Come on, y'all. Don't say it was Pusha T in the comments. I believe y'all. I believe y'all, and I talked my way out of the right answer. So there you go.
Listen, he is a man of the
Jack,
people.
why did you tell me that, Jack? You said it was Pusha T, Jack? Really, Jack? Come on, Jack.
Fuzzy memories.
Damn.
What was your?
It was Mos Def. Exactly. I even remember that suit. Mos Def was. I remember the suit. Well,
a valuable lesson.
And by the way, Questlove did say Mos Def, and so, you know, now he's playing both sides. He's taking on
out.
No, exactly. He's Palpatine. He's in my head. Honestly, he's in my head now. Like he's like, damn.
What was
okay. Leave the comments on, but I'm ignoring the comments. Here we go.
All right.
Trusting my instincts.
You were involved in writing the Slow Jam the News segment.
Yes, I was. Yes.
And you wrote the one with Barack Obama, right?
That is true. That is true. Shout out to Barack. He is one of the few people that we've ever written for who you just didn't even need to coach him on one line. Like he said it. He did it perfectly. I'll never forget Jimmy turned to him. He was like, "Do you want to do it again?" He was like, "Nope. Do you?" And like that was it. So he was great.
Seamless.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. Shout out to Barack. We'd love to have him on the show. If anybody wants to connect, you know, I think he knows a thing or two about hip hop. We're gonna move on to our second round.
Okay. All right. I'm ready for this.
This is our album artwork round. So I'm going to show you a small piece of the album cover. You have to identify what the album is.
That's right.
Here we go. First one. What album cover is this?
Okay. Can we just do this one? B. Crisscross. Totally crossed out.
He says crisscross. And
I'm from Atlanta, man. I remember that.
Did you rock the crisscross themed apparel at any point?
Oh, we had a crisscross day in my school. I remember all the kids showed up. We were supposed to put it. I couldn't do it because my parents just didn't buy me the clothes that allowed backwards clothing. But you know,
it was a different technology at the time. Yes.
I mean, it had to be really baggy for that kind of stuff to work. I was raised differently. My parents told me never put any interest into clothes. Like they're like, just focus on your books. My mom told me to pull my pants up over my stomach because that way it would have a slimming effect because my legs would look longer. Like I was an interesting kid. I dressed like Alex B. Keaton when I went to school. There you have it.
Factoid right there. All right, we're moving on to the second in this round. What album cover is this? Is it?
I know it.
Wow. All right, he's.
I'm gonna rock this session. Okay, I'll tell you, it's not Cool Keith, it's not Tyler, it's not DJ Khaled.
Then he's
that's the
going.
homie. That's Donald. That's Childish because of the internet.
Absolutely.
So fun fact. Met Donald in 2007 when he was a writer. Knew immediately. I was like, this kid's got it. He's gonna be a great writer someday if he stays focused. I'll never forget what.
Sort of did?
Huh?
Which he sort of did. I mean, like he did.
Oh no, he's a great writer. No, that's not. I mean, like, listen, like, you know. Then he was like, I'm coming. You know what? One of my favorite early Childish lines was like, "Oh, you got a mixtape? That's fantastic!" Like, I feel like so many people probably told him that. But you know, he was supposed to be in our Atlanta pilot because he's from Atlanta like me, and he was going to play our neighbor Curtis. And we ended up, you know, he was like, "Yeah, I'm down to do it." And then he came back and he's like, "You know what? I'm going to go on tour." And so we were like, "Okay, so we'll recast it." And he did. I don't know if he actually did go on tour. He started writing Atlanta, which is great. But we ended up recasting that role with Jaden Smith. Now here's where it gets crazy. We put Jaden Smith in the role that we wrote for Donald Glover, and we had to find a rapper to be his friend. The rapper that we found was August Alsina.
Ooh.
The two of them had never actually met, so they hung out on set that whole day.
Wait
and
a
then
minute.
they became best friends.
Are you saying that you are responsible for Entanglegate?
I am not saying I'm responsible for a damn thing. I'm just saying that they didn't know each other until they hung out on set on our Atlanta pilot. So, you know, you'll have to tell me how that story is. There you go.
If you know, you know.
All right. Well, we're gonna move on. I mean, there's a lot of speculation there, but listen, I'm not gonna drag you to the mud on it.
I'm not getting in that mud.
What album cover is this? Is it Master Ace, A Long Hot Summer, People Under the Stairs, The Next Step, MOP, Foundation, or Souls of Mischief, 93 till Infinity?
It's not Souls of Mischief.
Okay.
It's not. I don't think it's Master Ace. I feel like Long Hot Summer. I mean, there's stairs there.
There are stairs.
There are some stairs there. I feel like that's the Stoop. You know, everybody's trying to tell me it's Master Ace. I don't know if I trust these comments, but it seems uniform. Is it Master Ace? Okay. It's not MOP, y'all? That's not Foundation that I'm looking at?
What are we looking at? Like, what? Just analyze what you're seeing here beyond the stairs. I'm just like
I see a man in a white robe with a pad and a pen, and yeah, you know what? I'm gonna go Master Ace. I'm gonna say lightning can't be wrong twice. I'm gonna say Master Ace, A Long Hot Summer, because admittedly I don't know.
The popular phrase "lightning can't be wrong twice," which we all know and love. Let's see. And I swear to God, crowd, if you lead Diallo astray again, I will personally come after you guys. Do not hurt Diallo. But guess what? They were right. It is Master Ace. Woo.
Somebody in the comments said MOP not reading books.
I don't know if that's true, but I don't think
that's true, y'all.
I don't think that MOP is
that's a
wearing
really
white
mean
robe.
Comment, and I like to laugh at mean comments. So
that's
the writer in me.
I don't think that MOP are wearing white robes outside.
You know what? I don't know this album. What album? What Master Ace? What was the single off of this one?
This was this started to have a lot of like Ninth Wonder production on there as well. This was like
this is like later Master Ace. This is like 99, 2000 something.
Yeah, early 2000s.
See, I didn't know this album.
Yeah,
okay, I'm glad I listened.
So you're more into the older Master Ace.
You know what? I'll be honest. Like, Master Ace was never my dude, but sitting on Chrome like had an effect on me. So I definitely copped that album that apparently like no Master Ace fan likes, but you know it had Sitting on Chrome and Born to Roll. It was like a West Coast album by an East Coast artist, but you know it actually kind of brought him back into, because I remember he also did like Crooklyn Dodgers, which I thought was dope. So yeah, you know that was more my Master Ace period. I'm glad that y'all didn't let me down this time. Yeah, me and the comments and the folks is back on good terms.
You guys are good again. Shout out to DJ Spider with Read Out Posse, which is his response to the ROP. Absolutely. All right, we're gonna move on to our third round, Diallo, and that is called Digging in the Crates.
Right. Can I show the album art for our album?
Amazing. Plug it. So that is the soundtrack to the first 2 seasons, or the first season?
This is the first season.
Okay.
So shout out to Bashir, aka Sherman.
Amazing.
That's the first season. But then of course we have the Sherman Showcase Black History Month special in June, which has Questlove on the cover. Sadly, no Questlove remixes, but we'll work on that.
Yeah.
It's got a remix by JCO and Equal. So shout out to them. It's got a remix by because we're on Mad Decent. We got a Diplo style remix by some cats named Two Delinquents that are really dope. You should check them out. I think they're based in LA. They got a remix from me. I tried to go for like a Disclosure sort of like London house remix to a song called Runnin' that I think people should check out. And that's all the shameless promotion I'll do tonight.
And it's on all the streams and all the things.
It's on all the things. You can definitely cop it. For season 2, I definitely want to have more from Equal, something from Questlove. Want to reach out to Big Frida. Definitely want that in the mix. And we're just going to keep it running.
Amazing, incredible. Okay, we're going to move into our first question in our sample round. So Justice's live version of their song Dance was sampled by Swizz Beatz on a single by this artist. I'm going to play the sample really quick so people can hear it.
You can. I know it.
Well, allow me to maintain some sort of facade of a program, Diallo. Here we are. All right. All right. What is the answer?
It's not DMX.
Okay.
And it isn't Busta Rhymes.
Sure.
And I wish it was Alicia Keys because that would be cool. It's Jay-Z, and somehow they looped that to make it sound like on to the next one.
Absolutely. Questlove says just say the wrong
answer.
I know.
Hey, am I at 13 or 14?
You're at 13 now. You are at 13. Yeah. You're in Amir territory right now, but
that's cool. That's cool. As long as I end with 13, he can't talk.
Absolutely. But we still have a little bit more round to go.
Shout out to Brittany, who's in the chat. I mentioned her earlier. Okay, let's keep going.
Brittany, what's up? All right, we're going to move on to the second question in this round. Which of these artists has not sampled Joe Cocker's Woman to Woman? I'm going to play you the Joe Cocker song in question. Is it Dr. Dre, Kendrick Lamar, Ultramagnetic MCs, or EPMD?
Okay. The troll in me wants to say Dr. Dre, obviously. And I believe that EPMD also used that sample as well. Because I feel like, okay, Quest. I feel like EPMD beat a lot of those people I feel like EPMD, KMD, and there's like one other group. I feel like they beat everybody to OC. OC beat a lot of people to beats, and then they would take those same samples and they would have more successful singles off of them, So I feel like EPMD has used it. Ultramagnetic MCs, I know some of their songs, I don't know all of them, but sure. I feel like I know Kendrick, and I don't remember Kendrick ever rapping over a beat like that. But it seems too easy. So let me just think about this for a second. Let me just make sure. Because I feel like you'll pull out something. You'll be like, well, on the Black Panther Super soundtrack mixtape, there's actually it seems like everybody's saying that it's Kendrick. Here's the problem. I don't remember I'm sorry, okay, there are a lot of comedians in the comments.
There's 2 shows. There's the show that's happening, and there's Questlove trying to derail this.
Your format is amazing, my man. I admittedly discovered it recently, and I love it. And so thank you for having me on here.
Are you joking?
I am going to say, I don't know what Equal's talking about. Japan edition? What are you talking about? I must have missed your first comment.
You had to get in there.
Yeah. I'm going to go with Kendrick, because if it's not Kendrick, I'll kick myself.
All right, let's hear it out. First of all, Dre did it.
Now, what song is this? Because this is catchy. All right, never mind. Move on.
Sorry. You know, Instagram will shut us down if we.
Yeah, exactly.
A, the P, the M, the D, me. The E to
Yeah.
the D to the O to
Remember this? I remember this.
Moment of truth, Diallo. Ultramagnetic, so you are correct. Kendrick Lamar did not sample it. There he is. He's back in the game. He's back in the game.
How many more do we have to go?
45 more. No, I'm just kidding. We've got one more question in this round, and then we go into our final round.
Okay, I just wanted to know how close to 13 I was. Did I just jinx it by saying 12? See, Questlove, he's in my head. He's in my head.
I wasn't saying that was the order. I just was going in the order that we had them listed there. Man, you don't know the fury of this guy until.
No, I do.
Yeah,
I do. You should see when the Roots only get to practice something twice. He's furious.
Would you come in and be like, hey guys, we just came up with this really great bit where you like play this complicated Chick Corea song, like can you do that when we come back from the commercial?
He'd be like, we got to be out there in 30 minutes. I had to practice everything many times. And then Kamal just rolls his eyes. All right, let's keep going.
Sounds about right. Okay, here we go. Last question in this round. Michael Sterling's Lovers and Friends is the primary sample for a Lil Jon single featuring this rapper.
I think I know it. Yeah.
You know, baby, I spent a lot of time running away from love.
So who was the rapper that is featured on this Lil Jon single?
Well, I'm glad you asked. The fact is that, you know, first off, Lil Jon went to my rival high school, so I've followed the man's career going all the way back to Who You With, which is a classic, and everybody should check that out.
Yes.
If you don't already know that Lil Jon song. I know the Lil Jon catalog. This would have to be, it's not Mr. International, and it's not 40 Water, and it's not Tyga. Couldn't think of anything for Tyga. It is Chris Lover, aka Ludacris.
Luda is correct. Ludacris and Usher. Ludacris.
So much hatred. Just don't even acknowledge the hate. Shout out to Ace Bane, one of the funniest dudes on the web. There you go.
Amazing. So, Diallo, we have now reached what is our final round, and our final round is called Time's Up. So this is how this round goes. I'm going to present you with the option of 3 separate categories. You get to pick one of them, and you will have 90 seconds to answer 5 questions in that category.
Woo! Okay, so
so
I pick one category.
You get to pick one category. 5 questions. So here are your categories for tonight: Hip Hop and the Simpsons, Wayans Clan Ain't Nothing to Fuck With, or Black History Raps.
Oh, Black History Raps, maybe. Oh God, the Wayans Clan. I feel like I would probably know that, but I think I'm going to go with Black History Raps. I'm going to go with Black History Raps.
Okay.
I don't even know what that category is. Can we know anything more about it other than the title?
Yeah, sure. I'll walk you through it. Black History Raps are about songs that reference figures or moments in Black history, whatever that might be. I'm not trying to be a jerk, but it is like sort of, you know.
No, listen, I was a history major, so that sounds good. What is Wayne's Clan?
Simpsons is about, you know, hip-hoppers who have appeared on The Simpsons or done things with The Simpsons. And then Wayans Clan Ain't Nothing to Fuck With is about the connection that the Wayans family has had throughout their careers with hip-hop.
Ooh.
Steve Wonder tells me that I need to explain these more because I'm really into the whole like open the curtain and just show the title. But he has stressed to me that it's important to help, you know, put our guests in.
No. You know what? I think I gotta go with Black History Raps. I'm gonna go with Black History Raps.
Okay. So here's the deal, Diallo. You will have 90 seconds. I have OC's time's up here, time to 90 seconds. So when the time is up on OC, your time will be up. You, if you don't know the answer, you can pass. And we can come back to it. If you answer it wrong, the question is dead. And finally, you can rely on.
If I answer it wrong, can I just go on to the next question?
Yes, absolutely. You can go on to the next one. Again, you can rely on the chat, but you know, 50-50 with these guys.
Yeah, especially with 90 seconds to go. Well, no, they're 66 to 33.
If you want to get all mathematical about it. Okay, Black History Raps. Diallo Riddle. Here we go. Civil rights activist Rosa Parks was immortalized when this group named a song after her.
Outkast.
Outkast is correct. Nas delves into the history of African civilization in this single released in the 90s.
History? Not now. Daddy's on a chat. Skip, pass.
Okay, we're going to skip it. This rapper dedicated a song to black pioneers of rock and roll with the song Rock and Roll on his first album.
Pass.
Okay, he's passing. Chuck D wrote this Public Enemy song in response to resistance against instituting MLK Jr. Day as a national holiday.
Chuck D what?
Chuck D wrote this Public Enemy song. Okay, hold on. Are you there? Diallo, I'm going to pause it real quick because you've entered into a... Diallo, are you there?
I can't hear. By the time I get to Arizona.
By the time I get to Arizona, it's correct. I paused it,
Diallo.
Diallo.
Hear anything. I cannot hear anything.
I paused it. Okay, I paused it. Are you in a place where you can hear better now?
Okay. All right, you're back now.
Okay.
You're back now.
I paused
Okay,
it.
I feel better now. Okay, let's. Okay, thank you. I think you said something about Chuck D and MLK, so I said by the time I get to Arizona.
That is correct. Okay, so I'm gonna resume it. We have you got about halfway in. So I'm gonna resume it with the rest, and
I heard about 10 seconds for you, but let's go.
All right, let's go. Common and CeeLo pay tribute to this former member of the Black Liberation Army on Common's Like Water for Chocolate album.
Pass.
Okay, so we're gonna go back to the ones you skipped. Nas
that's it?
Nas dives into the history of African civilization.
If I Ruled the World.
That is incorrect. Okay, this rapper dedicated a song to black pioneers of rock and roll with the song Rock and Roll on his first album.
Mos Def.
That is correct. And we have the last question. Common and CeeLo pay tribute to this former member of the Black Liberation Army on the Like Water for Chocolate album.
The Black Liberation Army. One more time. Question.
Our time is up.
Damn it. Wait. Can I hear the question one more time, though?
Yes. Common and CeeLo pay tribute to this former member of the Black Liberation Army on the rapper's Like Water for Chocolate album.
Member. Member. It's a Sada song. Is it a Sada song?
It is, and because you got it in there, I feel like we got to give it to you. Or we'll give you half points on that because you
give me half points. I swear I've never had a meltdown on my Wi-Fi this one. I'm sure it's because I told her to keep the kids inside and they all got on iPads. But I've never had a meltdown like this before. This sucks.
We here at The Questions are all about celebrity meltdowns. That's what we sort of thrive and do this show for. I'm joking. Diallo, you did great. No matter what, you are a champion in our eyes.
Rub it in. So that was 12.5.
Well, I'm going to total your score right now, but what I want to ask you while I do this, who would you challenge to come on the show next? Who's somebody that you know who you think would have fun and do great on The Questions?
Somebody who hasn't been on the show, obviously.
Yes.
You know what? Have you done Marlon? Have you done Marlon Wayans? No.
No, Marlon Wayans would be great. All right.
Actually, have you done
I totaled your score. Say it again. You're breaking up a little.
I said, have you done Marlon Wayans?
No, we haven't had Marlon yet. So Marlon.
I think here's what's good about Marlon. He knows every 90s rapper, like every single one. And his buddy Omar is married to the lead singer of Total. So you will get some great stories.
I worked with Marlon on the show Drop the Mic, where he rap battled against a dude from Saturday Night Live, impression guy. What's his name?
Jay Farrow?
Hold on. Jay Farrow. Yes, sorry.
Yeah.
I had a slip of my brain. They rap battled each other, and it was very intense. It was super intense. Most people were sort of like,
go back and watch that episode of Pass the Mic. I was the DJ that night.
You were. That's right. I was on that show. Yeah, we were.
So wait, did I get 12.5? Did you figure out what I got?
You're like, enough of these pleasantries. Could we get to the score, please?
Because Questlove is never going to let me live this down.
You got 11.5, Diallo Riddle. You got 11.5.
All right.
Let me tell you who you're rubbing shoulders with, just so you know you're in good company. 11.5, you're in the group with Russell Peters, Chub Rock, To Hear More, DJ Mr. C, DJ Mighty Mike, Kim Osorio, J Live.
J Live? Wow, that's
yeah.
dope.
Yeah, so listen, it's not a shabby
And Chub
place.
Rock, I don't want to anger Chub Rock. Chub Rock is dope too.
Don't get Chub angry.
No,
Yeah.
I don't want to get on that shit list.
Do you have time if people want to ask questions? Do you have time for a little Q&A, or do you have to be
Absolutely.
out?
Yeah, no problem.
Right. Guys, if you have questions for Diallo, drop them in the little question mark box at the bottom. While we do that, I just want to do some quick plugs while we're all here. Thursday, we're going to have Just Blaze on the show. We are so stoked to have Just Blaze. It is going to be ridiculous. We hope you'll all tune in. And on Friday, we are on Twitch. We do this show where everybody gets to play on Twitch. So follow us on Twitch, twitch.tv/thequestionship-hop. Never thought I would be launching a television network in 2020, but here we are, quarantining the best we can. All right, we have some questions coming in here.
The only question, they want to know why I am not showing my ass. And I think figuratively I am.
Yes, and figuratively is good enough for us. So let's see. Jack asked, what was your first impression when meeting Marlon Wayans? How did you guys first meet?
We met in an audition. Funny thing was that they wrote the character for this part, and they'd seen my work in the HBO pilot, and I read the lines that were written for the character, and I called my agent. I'll never forget. I was like, I'm not going in for this. This character is written not how I speak. You know, he's like, yo, you got a busted ass TV. I was like, there's no way I can say that with a straight face. That's not how I talk. They were like, well, just go in and play yourself. And I went in and I just played the character exactly like me. And at the end of the audition, I'll never forget, Marlon stood up, came around and gave me a hug. And I was like, oh, well, you know, this is a nice guy. Like, if nothing else, I made a, you know, good impression. But then they called me a couple hours later saying the part is yours. And so that was a part that absolutely changed my life. And I'm grateful to this man to this day. We stay in touch. He was texting me about 2 hours ago about some business stuff because we want to do a new show together. And you heard it here relatively first. Like, you know, we're going to be working on something new. Worldwide premiere. We're working on something. So
yeah, amazing. Amazing. All right, let's see. We have some more in here. DJ Equal asked, do you have any spicy Questlove stories? Fan of the Flames. Jeez.
Spicy Questlove. What's my best Questlove story? Quest, should I tell the time about that? I don't know if Quest is still here. I feel like he's about. You know, that's a tough one because Quest is such a good, solid dude. I mean, like, you know, he doesn't drink, he doesn't smoke. Like, you know, there are no crazy wild Questlove stories.
Sure. What was it like just working? You know, obviously, what was cool about Fallon was how much music and comedy sort of were integrated, and how much the Roots kind of played a part in that. So, you know, spell Bashir's last name under 2 seconds. So what was it like, you know, unless you have a fire story? I'm just trying to, you know.
No, I mean, like, you know, I think the thing about Quest that I appreciate is that, you know, you can talk to him for hours about just the nerdiest. It doesn't even have to be music related. Like, the man, you know, he watches all the best cartoons. He watches all the best documentaries. And yeah, you know, like we can kid each other because he's such a decent human being. So that's a boring answer. The only other thing I'll say is that Quest has great spicy stories on everybody else. Yes. You know, he's told me some stories that I can't say here because I'm not trying to have people up in my house, you know, with weaponry. But, you know, if you ever get, you know, some time to talk to Quest about what it was like, you know, in Brooklyn in 1997 when certain people were recording music and Biggie showed up at the recording studio, I suggest you ask him for that story, but I'm not going to repeat it here.
He's published a lot of these musings on internet message boards that have since been taken down.
Yeah, wisely. Absolutely.
And by the way, Tenderoni, I am aware that I look like the rapper Logic. You're not breaking new ground by pointing that out, but I appreciate the love. It's fine.
I like your specs, man. I feel like we could almost be like 23andMe, like just a couple of generations, you know?
So let me tell you something. I was really nervous because I got my eyes dilated earlier this afternoon. I went to the doctor and I was like, I realized as he was doing it, I was like, oh, this might be problematic for a program in which I have to squint at a phone. But I don't think I've looked like I'm on drugs, and I was able to read everything fine. So I think it worked out okay. But thank you for the compliment. On the glasses.
No problem.
Smashing Love asks, "What's your favorite cereal?" We're going for
I
the hard
haven't had cereal, and so I'm just not a cereal guy. I think my favorite cereal is probably still Cracklin' Oat Bran. So there you go.
There you go. If you know, you know. Let's see. What else do we have here? Favorite funny movie when you were a kid and now? Ask Nerd.
Recent movie, I love Booksmart. I wish I had written it. It's just good. But favorite movie when I was a kid, it's funny because some of the Goonies obviously had, I think I patterned most of my speech patterns after that kid. You know, I just him and Corey Haim, you know, I'm a kid of the 80s, so like those are the people who have the, but actually my favorite movie of all time, truth be told, is Pee-wee's Big Adventure. So shout out to Paul Rubens. That's the master class in absurd humor. When we built Sherman Showcase, we kind of modeled parts of it after Pee-wee's Playhouse. You know, because we think that's what we're going for. So Paul Rubens, Pee-wee Herman, that's the GOAT.
So let me ask you something. I believe I'm a little bit younger than you, but I'm also a child of the 80s. And so it kind of is shameful for me to say, I have never seen the Goonies. Do you think that the Goonies is something that I now in the year of 2020, in the age of the Rona, will appreciate? Or is it kind of like you had to have been there?
You know, the Goonies to me is a lot like the Sandlot is to my wife. I feel like if you're a kid when the Sandlot comes out, you love it, and you can watch it now and be like, oh, that's a good movie, but you don't love it. I don't know that people who weren't kids when the Goonies came out will still love it. I mean, like, that's just being real.
Okay.
Better than the Goonies. I've seen both of them recently, and I still kind of feel like the Lost Boys is like it's cheesy as all hell. They didn't flip. It's very interesting what ages and what doesn't.
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to do one more question, and this is a good one to go out on. Have you started filming anything from the next season of Sherman Showcase?
No. In fact, we were supposed to start shooting the next season of Southside in April, so we know how that worked out. We're sitting around waiting, but we may not sit around forever to start writing Sherman season 2. So Southside season 2 is finished. It's written. It's done. We're going to have to change some stuff. We have a whole episode that's built around a parade. All that stuff's got to be rewritten.
A whole episode about licking doorknobs with reckless.
We got the handshaking episode. There's stuff that's got to be adjusted. But Sherman season 2 has not been written. And I'm actually happy to have this Corona time off to work with collaborators like Quest Hate, like some of the other people who I really want to get with, and like work on the music, because we have months to work on the music now, on these great songs with Fonte and whoever and everybody else that we want to work with season 2. I like I said, I think Anderson .Paak is going to be big for us in season 2, and I think John's going to actually get on and do some singing in season 2. We have the time to write these songs and like really build them out. So I'm really proud of the songs we've done. Whoop-de Kids, I feel like is going to be a hit. Drop It Low for Jesus is a hit. Add some Kente. Shout out to Viceroy. I totally forgot about Viceroy. Shout out to Austin Afridi, aka Viceroy, for giving me the old school Chicago house song that I really, really wanted for the Sherman Showcase Black History Month special. I told him that he's permanently a part of Black History now for giving us Add Some Kente. You know, if you know producers and you want to send them my way, please do, because we need every type of music, you know, and that's what's important. We will get to writing it very shortly. Long-winded way of saying it's coming.
Absolutely. So if you producers, we know there's some producers and shit. I might want to submit something. If you
and Lorenzo, I'm sorry, Zoe.
Shout out to Zoe.
I say Fonte a lot. I don't ever mean to leave out Zoe. And Zoe got the new album out. You should definitely cop it. It's really good. I've been listening to it. Also, I want to send a shout out to Haim. Haim's album is fire. I think we established that last week.
Yes, and we actually, our friend of the show, Ariel Rexshade, who produced the Haim album, I think that they got in touch. I think Ariel and Questlove have linked up. So I'd love to have a recurring theme that at the end of every episode, we just talk about how fire the Haim.
Shout out to Haim.
But no, hold on. Let me correct this. I believe that they pronounce it Haim. It is Haim. But
well, see,
I realized that after with Questlove, I was like, how did I let him Jedi mind trick me into saying it incorrectly? Like, I know how, and then I just let you do it just now. Yep.
Hey, let me tell you something. Heim, I will say Heim, and no, Quest, that doesn't mean I got another question wrong because I mispronounced Haim. You got that wrong too. We got to talk, Quest. We got to talk.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. Listen, I have to urge everybody who is watching this, if you have not watched the Sherman Showcase Black History Spectacular, do it right now. Like, log off of here, go watch that special now.
It's on AMC.com. AMC.com is where you can find it.
You can see it for free. I had seen bits and pieces of the show before, obviously, stuff that people were posting. I watched the whole thing, and I felt my brain melting in the most wonderfully positive way that I can describe. It was so great. Like, kudos to you a million times over. And you guys need to check it out if you haven't done so already, and go back and watch season 1 as well. Diallo, thank you so much for coming on the show. We really appreciate it.
Thank you. I'm gonna go see with the Spectrum Wi-Fi that has always stood by my side why it got so whacked today. But
you got to get on that Starry. That's what I did. I was Team Spectrum, and I got Starry, and now I'm living the good
Starry?
life.
I don't even know what that is.
Starry.